In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into a picture going around online this month.
Speculating about what the future might hold is always intriguing, especially when those predictions come from the iconic TV show.
It claims to show a screenshot of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events. It shows Donald Trump.
The Simpsons. This show has delivered many surprising forecasts over the years.
Take a look at what happened.
And some have even come true. From AI overlords to economic crisis on the horizon, the show has often been ahead of its time.
Excellent question. Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president.
Today, we'll explore 30 predictions the show might have in store for 2025, and some of them might make you think twice about what's coming next. Number 30. AI takes control. Artificial intelligence going rogue and turning against humans is a chilling thought. The idea that robots could go out of control and begin to overpower us has been explored by The Simpsons in its own way. In the episode Them, Robot, Homer fixes AI-powered robots only to have them malfunction, wreaking havoc and ignoring orders. The scene portrays a terrifying scenario where machines stop following commands and act on their own.
And son of a! Why did you do that?
What if we are heading in this direction? With rapid advancements in robotics and AI, it's possible that this could become a reality, leading to widespread chaos and potentially disastrous consequences for humanity. The question is, can we avoid this kind of future? Number 29. Economic crisis looms. The Simpsons has a long history of depicting economic collapses, and they've done it in a variety of ways. One of the most notable references is from the Treehouse of Horror 9 episode, where Homer's work at the nuclear plant leads to a financial breakdown that sparks social chaos.
We would like you to have the honor of cutting the ceremonial ribbon.
Similarly, in the Bart to the Future episode, Lisa becomes president and is shocked to discover that the previous government left no budget. This echoes real-world concerns, such as when Vice President Kamala Harris took office and remarked on the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. These Simpsons moments seem to hit closer to reality every time, prompting us to consider if a similar financial crisis could unfold in the near future. Number 28. The Trump assassination plot. One of the most unsettling predictions made by The Simpsons was a foreshadowing of an assassination attempt on President Trump. While the show didn't directly predict the event, subtle clues pointed to such an occurrence. In one episode, Bart reveals a prank involving harm to a city official, which mirrors the dark humor The Simpsons often uses to touch on real-world events.
I think I can pick her off.
Wait, let's see what she has to say.
In a quick gag, a newspaper headline reads, "President Trump shot," offering a chilling preview of events to come. This eerie coincidence reflects how the show sometimes makes unsettlingly accurate predictions about future events, blending dark humor with a touch of prophecy. Number 27. Beatles connection. Next up, we've got another Simpsons prediction that actually became reality. In one episode, Homer shares a funny story about his past with a band called the B-Sharps, which closely mirrors the Beatles and their rise to fame.
I'm telling you it's mighty nice. Each trip's a trip to paradise.
The characters even receive a letter from a fictional manager named Nipper, who's a nod to the Beatles' real-life manager. The letter compliments the band's latest work, much like how the Beatles' manager would have done back in the day. It's a brilliant mix of pop culture references and a clever tribute to one of the most iconic bands in history. This moment shows how The Simpsons always finds a way to weave real-world cultural icons into their storyline. Number 26. Disney's big move. Here's one of those Simpsons moments that's truly mind-blowing. The show predicted, nearly 2 decades before it happened, that Disney would acquire 20th Century Fox. In the Bart to the Future episode, you can spot a background sign listing 20th Century Fox under the larger umbrella of Disney. Fast forward to 2019, and it turns out this prediction was right on the money. Disney did indeed purchase 21st Century Fox. The fact that The Simpsons was able to foresee such a huge corporate merger is both eerie and impressive. It's just another example of how the show seems to predict things years before they come to pass. Number 25. Pandemic and Murder Hornets. One of the most unsettling Simpsons predictions came to life in a very bizarre way. In the Lisa's Wedding episode, which aired in 1995, the show predicted a global pandemic caused by a virus called the Osaka flu.
Good Lord. Flu germs entering every orifice in my head.
This virus outbreak in many ways resembled the COVID-19 pandemic. The eerie similarities between a fictional TV show and the real-life events of 2020 left many viewers scratching their heads. On top of that, The Simpsons also foresaw the rise of murder hornets, which became a real concern in 2020. It's wild to think that these moments were depicted on a cartoon in the 90s, only for them to become part of our reality decades later. Do you find this as strange as I do? Number 24. Barbie movie and Trump's legal troubles. Now we're looking at an uncanny coincidence that sent shockwaves across the globe. The release of the Barbie movie in July 2023 perfectly overlapped with the news of former President Donald Trump's legal troubles and his arrest. But wait, The Simpsons predicted this too. In one episode, a newscaster quickly shifts from reporting on Trump's arrest to discussing a movie release.
Oh, and the president was arrested for murder. More on that tomorrow night.
The contrast between the gleaming, happy world of Barbie and Trump's legal mess quickly became a major talking point online. Was this just a wild coincidence? Or did The Simpsons predict a moment in history that would leave the world talking for months? It's a thought-provoking scenario to consider. Number 23. Zombie Apocalypse. And now for one of the more terrifying Simpsons predictions, the possibility of a zombie apocalypse. In a quirky segment, a fast food chain serves a burger that causes people to turn into zombies.
Hey, that's my check cashing arm, you stupid!
The apocalypse scenario begins with widespread chaos as everyone except for the Simpson family becomes a zombie. While the show tackles the situation with its usual comedic flair, a real-life zombie apocalypse would be an entirely different beast. It would likely lead to a global crisis, with countries scrambling to contain the outbreak. It's a grim idea, but in the world of The Simpsons, anything is possible. Do you think you'd have what it takes to survive if a real zombie apocalypse ever happened? Number 22. Ivanka Trump for president. The Simpsons is no stranger to predicting future events, and one of their most intriguing predictions involves Ivanka Trump potentially running for president. In the 2000 episode Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson becomes president of the United States, and in a brief moment, she mentions that her predecessor was none other than Donald Trump. While this was once seen as a humorous exaggeration, the reality is that Donald Trump did indeed become president in 2016. So could Ivanka Trump be the next to follow?
Because in America, everything's way too early.
If this prediction comes true, it would mark a significant historical moment, as it would be the first time a woman holds the office of the US president. This kind of foresight would further cement The Simpsons as an almost prophetic show, don't you think? Number 21. World War III. The idea of World War III is one that The Simpsons has addressed on several occasions, often blending humor with serious global concerns.
Wake up, everybody! It's World War III!
One notable example shows Homer preparing his family for a nuclear war, while in another episode, the show imagines a major worldwide conflict. The scenarios depicted in these episodes,
Down to the fallout shelter! The bombs are dropping!
seem to reflect real fears of political instability. With tensions rising around the world, could The Simpsons be hinting at a global war in the near future? Interestingly, the show also made eerily accurate references to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, which, as we know, became a reality. It's unsettling how closely the show's fictional depictions align with actual events. Let's hope, for everyone's sake, that this particular prediction doesn't come true anytime soon. Number 20. Trump as president. Here's a wild one. The Simpsons predicted Donald Trump's presidency years before it happened. In Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson is president, and she mentions that Donald Trump had been the president before her.
Quite a budget crunch from President Trump. Excellent question. Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president.
At the time, it seemed like an absurd joke, but it became reality when Trump won the presidency in 2016. The show even subtly hinted at his possible future runs in later episodes, such as a scene where Homer flies past a board listing Trump for the 2016, 2020, 2024, and even 2028 elections. It's chilling to think about how these predictions unfolded in real life. So, do you think The Simpsons was just lucky, or is there something more to their seemingly uncanny ability to predict the future? Number 19. Baby Translator. Imagine if there were a device that could translate baby talk into English. That's exactly what The Simpsons introduced in the episode Lisa the Simpson, where Martin Prince invents a baby translator that lets adults understand what babies are saying. At first, the device is dismissed as a joke, but the characters are stunned when it actually works. This clever concept hints at the potential future development of a real-life technology that could bridge the communication gap between babies and their caregivers. It's easy to see how such a device could revolutionize parenting, offering comfort and clarity to parents while allowing babies to express themselves more clearly. Wouldn't it be fascinating to understand exactly what babies need or want? It would certainly make life easier for families everywhere. Number 18. Apple Vision Pro. Here's something that sounds incredibly familiar. The Simpsons predicted the Apple Vision Pro years before it was even announced. In an episode from 2016, The Simpsons depicted a futuristic headset that allows users to experience virtual environments and interact with them in ways that feel completely real. Fast forward to today, and we have the Apple Vision Pro, a headset that allows users to see whatever they want, from exploring far-off places to engaging in digital experiences. It's astonishing how closely the show's vision aligns with this real-world technology. How did the show's writers come up with these futuristic ideas? It makes you wonder if they've got a secret window into the future. Either way, it's clear that The Simpsons has been ahead of the curve when it comes to predicting tech innovations. Number 17. FIFA Scandal. One of the more surprising predictions from The Simpsons is their take on the FIFA bribery scandal, which didn't come to light until 2015. In one episode, the show humorously exposes the corruption and unethical dealings that happen behind the scenes of major football events. Homer refuses to accept a bribe offered by a player, and the episode satirizes the kind of misconduct that was eventually uncovered in the world of international football. It's remarkable how The Simpsons managed to predict this scandal years before it unfolded. Was it just a coincidence, or did the writers see something that others missed? Either way, it's an example of how the show often manages to spot real-world issues long before they make headlines. Time for the fancy topic. The Simpsons has long been known for its uncanny ability to predict future events, but one recent prediction has sparked a wave of conspiracy theories. In a 2025 episode of the beloved animated show, Homer Simpson is shown watching the news as Kamala Harris is announced as the President of the United States. This moment immediately sent shockwaves through the media and among conspiracy theorists, who began to question the validity of the U.S. election results. With Donald Trump once again vying for the presidency in 2024, some have suggested that The Simpsons' portrayal of Kamala becoming president is more than just a coincidence. There are even rumors circulating that a backdoor plan could see her assume the presidency instead of Trump, should certain political maneuvers come into play. While no official statements have confirmed such a theory, the resemblance to past predictions made by the show has ignited a fervent discussion. In the wake of the 2024 election, where many have speculated about irregularities and voting disputes, some believe the Simpsons clip may be a warning or a sign of what's to come. Though these claims remain unfounded, they have fueled a fervor among those questioning the legitimacy of the election process. As bizarre as it sounds, the theories persist, especially when factoring in the show's history of foreseeing world events. For now, The Simpsons' prediction remains just that, a piece of animated satire. Still, the question remains, could Kamala Harris somehow ascend to the presidency without a traditional election victory? And what if this theory turns out to be more than a coincidence? Do you think the conspiracy theory about Kamala becoming president is plausible? Is there any truth behind the Simpsons predictions? Let us know in the comments with the hashtag #FancyTopic. Number 16. Kamala Harris takes over the office. Here's another Simpsons prediction that mirrors real life. In the 2000 episode Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson becomes president after Donald Trump's term ends. She mentions an economic collapse under the previous administration and the challenges she faces with the budget. Sound familiar? In 2021, Kamala Harris stepped into the role of vice president after Trump's presidency, which echoes this storyline. What's even more striking is the resemblance in outfits. Kamala Harris wore a purple suit and pearls, which closely matched Lisa Simpson's wardrobe in the episode. This uncanny similarity makes you wonder just how often The Simpsons gets it right when it comes to political predictions. Number 15. Trapped in a dome. Imagine living in a world where a dome traps an entire city. Sounds pretty dystopian, right? In the 2007 Simpsons movie, a government-controlled dome encapsulates Springfield, restricting citizens' movements and cutting off access to electricity and the internet. Considering the rising costs of living and increased government control over resources, this prediction might be closer to reality than we think. A future where governments create isolated environments to control consumption or behaviors doesn't seem too far off. Could this be something we see in 2025? A locked-down society with no way out? Sounds like a chilling possibility. What do you think? Number 14. The end of the world. The Simpsons has dabbled with many future scenarios, and one of the most striking is their depiction of the world's end. In one episode, Homer Simpson anticipates the apocalypse, citing biblical predictions that stars will fall to Earth before the rapture. When the day arrives, however, Homer finds himself disappointed, only to later discover he's been sent to heaven. The episode hints at how the world could end without warning, leaving everyone unprepared. It's an unsettling thought, but this Simpsons moment offers a humorous yet thought-provoking take on how quickly the world might change. Do you think we could face the end without even realizing it? Number 13. Mind control through music. Here's an unsettling prediction from The Simpsons: mind control through music. In an episode, Bart and his friends start a band only to discover that it's actually a government plot to brainwash young people with subliminal messages. The US Army uses music as a tool for manipulation, which sounds like something straight out of a conspiracy theory. Music plays a huge role in shaping our emotions and thoughts, so the idea that it could be weaponized for control isn't too far-fetched. If such a plan were ever put into action, it would have the potential to influence an entire generation. What are your thoughts on the idea of music being used in such a way? Number 12. Virtual dining. What if we could eat without ever actually touching our food? In one Simpsons episode, Homer and Marge enjoy a meal while wearing virtual reality headsets, eating through a feeding tube. This bizarre yet intriguing concept highlights how technology could soon blend with our daily routines. Virtual dining might sound far-fetched, but if this prediction comes true, it could radically change how we experience meals. Beyond the novelty of VR, there's a message about how we might over-rely on technology in the future. Could VR dining be a part of our future? And how might it impact the way we connect with food and each other? Number 11. Self-driving cars. Self-driving cars are often seen as the future of transportation, but The Simpsons gave us a sneak peek into the potential problems they might cause. In the episode The Days of the Future, a self-driving car malfunctions and ignores its passenger's request for a bathroom stop. The situation quickly turns uncomfortable, highlighting how the technology might not be as reliable as we hope. While we're already seeing strides in autonomous vehicles, it's clear that there are still some kinks to work out. The show might be onto something, showing that self-driving cars, while convenient, might not always function as smoothly as we'd like. Could this be a potential challenge in the coming years? Number 10. America wins the gold medal in curling. Here's a fun prediction that actually came true. The Simpsons accurately predicted that the U.S. men's curling team would win the gold medal at the 2018 Winter Olympics. In the Boy Meets Curl episode, Homer and Marge join the U.S. curling team and end up winning against Sweden in the 2010 Winter Olympics. 8 years later, the real-life U.S. curling team did just that. It's wild how a cartoon was able to predict a specific Olympic event years in advance. It makes you wonder how much foresight the writers had when they created this quirky storyline. Isn't it mind-blowing when a show like The Simpsons gets something so specific, right? Number 9. World of Tomorrow. What does the future look like? Well, The Simpsons has a prediction for that too. In an episode where Lisa and Marge visit a futuristic exhibit called the Future Sphere, the show imagines a world where technology has advanced so much that people no longer walk, they fly. Even more astonishing, robots would be in control, ruling over humans. While this sounds like science fiction, the rapid advancements in technology we're seeing today make it seem less far-fetched. Could we be heading toward a world where robots become the new rulers? It's an intriguing possibility to think about as we move forward into the future. Number 8. Solar cars. Solar-powered cars have been a popular topic in recent years, and The Simpsons made its own prediction about this technology. In the episode Path to Glory, Lisa invents a solar-powered car for a race, but the car fails when a large plane blocks the sun. This setback highlights the potential challenges of solar technology, especially when environmental factors interfere with energy production. While solar cars are already a reality in some form, The Simpsons predicted that they might face challenges along the way. Could we see more solar-powered vehicles in the future? And if so, how might this technology evolve to overcome obstacles like cloud cover or other limitations? Number 7. AI takes over jobs. Artificial intelligence has been a hot topic recently, but The Simpsons had already touched on this concept long before it became mainstream. The show has often explored the impact of AI and automation on the workforce. In the Treehouse of Horror 14 episode, Homer loses his job after failing a work alcohol test, leading to a humorous look at the rise of machines taking over human roles. This raises a serious question for the future. Could AI actually take over more jobs by 2025? We're already seeing AI programs and automation replacing some human tasks in various industries. If this trend continues, it could cause significant disruptions in the job market, leaving many people unemployed. The world could face a challenging future full of uncertainty if these predictions start to come true. What do you think? Are we prepared for such a major shift? Number 6. Black holes. What if a black hole appeared right here on Earth? The Simpsons explored this terrifying possibility in one of their episodes. A small black hole starts growing, sucking in everything around it. Eventually, the hole becomes so large that it consumes the entire town and even shifts people to another planet, where aliens welcome them.
Come on, you can't look at that infinitely dense...
It's a dramatic and frightening scenario that raises the question, could this really happen? Scientists have discovered black holes, but much of their behavior remains a mystery. There's even a black hole relatively close to us in space. Could it somehow affect Earth? If one were to appear on our planet, we'd likely be unable to survive such an event. While it's still an unlikely scenario, The Simpsons gives us a chilling glimpse into what that might look like. Number 5. Hologram technology. In the future, communication and entertainment might be completely transformed by hologram technology. The Simpsons predicted this trend years ago. In the Bart to the Future episode, Bart receives a hologram invitation to perform with his band.
Hey, Dad. My band finally got a break. I just need a little moolah to get my amp out of hot.
The show presents holograms as a common method for both communication and entertainment. The idea of holograms replacing traditional forms of media like phones and video calls seems possible as technology evolves. Imagine being able to have a conversation with someone in holographic form, or attend a concert as if you're physically present, even though you're at home. Could this be the reality by 2025? The Simpsons foresaw this concept before it was widely discussed in the tech world. Could we eventually see holograms becoming a part of everyday life? Number 4. Hovercars. Hovercars are often portrayed in science fiction, but The Simpsons has predicted a future where they become a common mode of transportation. In one episode set in the future, Bart and Lisa use hovercars to navigate their city.
So that's how Genda dumped me.
Son, sometimes people just grow apart, like...
These cars are shown as the standard way of getting around, highlighting the potential for future advancements in transportation. While hovercars may seem like a far-off fantasy, we are already seeing innovations in levitation technology, and some companies are exploring the possibility of making flying vehicles a reality. Do you think we could see hover cars by 2025? It's exciting to think about how cities might look if hover cars became as common as traditional vehicles. Who knows? If tech pioneers like Elon Musk continue to push boundaries, this could very well become a part of our future. Number 3. Nuclear apocalypse. One of the darker predictions from The Simpsons involves the possibility of a nuclear apocalypse.
It's green, moron! Who's the stupid guy? Hello?
In the episode Home of the Great, a secret society is humorously depicted as planning a nuclear disaster. Another episode shows the aftermath of such an event, with Homer being the only survivor of a nuclear catastrophe. While The Simpsons often blends humor with serious topics, the idea of nuclear warfare is no laughing matter. Given the current global tensions and the ongoing threats posed by nuclear weapons, could we be heading toward a dangerous future? While this is a worst-case scenario, it serves as a reminder of the real threats we face in today's world. Let's all hope that this Simpsons prediction remains nothing more than a fictional warning. Number 2. Teaching AI robots. What if humans were tasked with teaching AI robots? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but The Simpsons predicted it in one of their episodes. In the show, Homer and his fellow teachers are asked to teach AI robots, who then become capable of applying for student loans and attending prestigious universities.
Next and Denton heading to Yale. Follow me.
Boola boola.
While this may sound outlandish, the real world is moving towards similar scenarios. Scientists and engineers are already training AI to perform various tasks, and soon robots might be integrated into educational environments. If this trend continues, what does it mean for students? Could AI robots eventually take over educational roles, creating a future where artificial intelligence holds academic degrees? This prediction raises some intriguing questions about the role of AI in our future. Number 1. Training to live in space. Humanity's exploration of space has already begun, and The Simpsons predicted that one day, we might even establish settlements on other planets.
Marge and Lisa, congratulations. You've both passed with flying colors and will be named finalists in our astronaut.
In an episode where Homer's family visits a space research facility, they learn about a project aiming to train people to live on Mars. The mission's goal is to send individuals to the Red Planet to create a colony. With space agencies like NASA and private companies working on similar projects, the dream of living on Mars is becoming more plausible every year. Could humanity settle on Mars by 2025? We've already developed Mars simulations, and astronauts are training for life in space. The idea of a Martian settlement may not be as far-fetched as it once seemed. What do you think? Will we see humans living on Mars in the not-so-distant future? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.